Let's do a podcast. That's a really good idea. Yeah.
Just getting ready. You got to be ready. You got to have good vocal diction tone, when you're doing this stuff, I don't know. Don't you Germans don't you yodel, you Germans, or something like that? I'm not sure.
No,
not anymore. Not anymore.
All right. Hey, fellas. Welcome to our first episode of Unresolved Dependencies. My name is Sebastian, and with me today I have Joe. Joe, do you want to introduce yourself to the people? How is it going?
What is good. This is a podcast. I mean, this was kind of your idea, which I just kind of like. I'm just gate crashing on, almost. It feels like, but I mean, it's good. We're here. We've clearly done our market research. We've done our market research. Clearly, there's a huge demand for middle-aged white male spouting rubbish on the internet. So we're filling a very important gap here, and giving the public what they want at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I definitely think this has so much upscale potential. Forget about AI, forget about agents. I think like this kind of format is like just like 30 minutes of two white people talking to each other. This is what the world needs at this moment of time. So definitely.
Exactly.
So that I'm not the so if you want to listen to a real podcast, please listen to the Power Platform Beast podcast of Ulrike and Nick, because there you really get some information. Here I think it's just like half an hour of two good friends coupling each other and trying to get up to date on like what happens in the Microsoft ecosystem. And there we are already with some kind of introduction. Who are we and what are we doing here? Maybe Joe, you can start with like some kind of little like who you are. So tell the listeners and the viewers out there, who are you?
Well, I'm here quite obviously. This is a last-ditch attempt to maintain this friendship. This is the only reason why we're doing this podcast. But aside from that, in my day-to-day sort of work, I am involved as the practice lead for Promex. So we're actually colleagues, me and Sebastian. Would you believe? You wouldn't think it really. Usually spending my days doing all sorts of fun stuff. Technical related, non-technical related. Also involved quite a lot with the Microsoft community. In between all of that, big history geek, big reading geek, big video game geek, just an all-around geek, really.
Just a geek.
I'm the whole package right here, clearly. So just start queuing.
An absolute fucking unit of geekness.
Exactly. Yeah, this we hit the nail on the head. So just I'll put that on my profile.
Yeah, it's a good bio, basically. Yeah, nice. That's very cool. My name's Sebastian, and this is already one of like weird German or non-English speaking facts that like telling my name in English is incredible weird. It's so weird. I can't pronounce it in like English. I can't call it Sebastian or whatever it is. I always have to call it like the German pronunciation is. So I come up with like people can call me Sep. It's much more easier, and so you can call me Sep.
So what is the German pronunciation then? Just
Sebastian. But there's like just no fire in it. There is no pronunciation. There is no passion behind it. It's just Sebastian, and it's even worse with my last name. Even so, there's just like there's nothing in it. It's just Siebe.
So Siebe. Because Sebastian's quite a sort of like a posh name here in the UK. Sebastian.
Is it?
You say, yes, I'm Sebastian. I'm going off on gap year. That's
you see, there's a lot of passion in it. There's a lot of like drive in it. In German, there's just no pronunciation. It's just Sebastian. How you spell it, that's the way you read it. So it's very weird for me. So usually I go with Sep. Actually, I also work for the same group as Joey. Also,
you're kind of my boss, really, aren't you? In a way. This what makes the dynamic quite interesting.
No, I wish. That's what he claims, actually. So he claims that I'm his boss. I'm not forcing him to do this. He's here
of my own free will.
For his own free will.
Yeah, I agree
And
to
you-
this willingly.
For all the listeners, he's like not acting anyways into the camera that he wants to be freed here. No.
Yeah, only the video watchers will be able to sort of see my true distress here. But yeah, we will be
Also,
making this
this is a
available on a few
video.
different channels. Yes, it's video. Yeah, we're going to make this available on all the channels. You know, we're going to basically blow up your socials with as much of us as possible. This is the only way we're going to get you to pay attention to us, clearly. So
let's see if someone actually listens to that. I've not told my family yet that this thing is happening, and I will never do.
But in all seriousness, there has been a lot of planning got into this. We've got a format and everything. We've got a structure. We know what we're going to be doing. So we've actually prepared. You know, this is not just something that we vibed, 5 minutes before. And that's our claim. That's what we're going to stick to.
Naja.
Yeah.
No, actually back to my introduction, but never mind. Yeah, so my name is Sebastian. Did we cover that already?
Yeah, my name's Joe, by the way, in case,
Oh, nice. Hey, you meet Joe.
Hey, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you.
I wish I could be your boss at some point, but let's see.
Let's see.
No, basically, I'm working for the same group as Joe. Just for the German subsidiary. I'm responsible for everything here that handles technology. So a lot of research, a lot of guessing what could be the next big thing. Currently, a lot of AI. A lot more than I thought it would be, to be honest. A lot of Copilot Studio, a lot of vibe coding, a lot of pro-code tools with a lot of CLIs, which is my new favorite word, CLI. I basically use it 15 times a day, at least, and this is a lot. So yeah, basically with that, I was doing a lot of community stuff. So with Microsoft, a lot of like being in the background, moderating, or on the stage as a speaker. Also, we both had a strong history on Dynamics 365 project operations. So I think this will be also part of this podcast here, where we as well talk about some recent features about in project operations. We just have a very strong background of that. But besides that, we are very open for everything in terms of what happens in the Microsoft ecosystem, what drives us on our daily basis, but also a lot of private and personal stuff. I think this will be the main ingredients for this. Like, we plan roughly half an hour. Let's see how it goes. As we are as well speaking at community events, at Microsoft events, or sometimes Joe just stands up in the office and starts speaking because he's missing it a lot. We will as well give you some behind the scenes insights, how this looks like. Maybe you're a first time speaker, maybe you're not speaking at all and you want to go into this, but you're too much afraid of it. Trust me, you don't have to. But we may as well helping you to get your knowledge on the stage, because the best thing about knowledge is that you can share it. And yeah, anything else we need to mention for this introduction?
I think you covered it. Yeah, so it's going to be like a bit of a what we call a pick and mix here in the UK. You go into the sweet shop, there's lots of nice little things on the shelf. You sort of help yourself, fill your bag, so we've got sort of everything from Microsoft stuff through to what's happening, community work, or just random sort of stuff. This is why we're sort of here. Maybe as well just to give some ideas, some inspiration to others, some confidence perhaps to go and do this sort of stuff. If we can do it, then certainly everyone else is more than capable of doing so, and probably can do a better job than us as well. Let's have that right. So
this is definitely a good subtitle to this podcast. Like, if we can do it, like, you can do it for sure. So
exactly.
There's without hesitation, I would agree to this. So
I have to say, and if this saves the friendship between me and Seb at the end of it, then that's all that matters.
That's kind of the side hustle we do have with this one. So we're just trying to catch up, not on site, but maybe in a more regular way, to just speak to each other and see and hear each other. If this is beneficial, I don't know yet, but we're open to try things. So maybe some words, Joe, to the audience, like how we came up with this name, and if this is maybe an application lifecycle management focused podcast.
Yeah, because I noticed you did the announcement for this on April Fools, so there were obviously quite a few people who were sus, as the kids say these days, about what the actual intention was behind this. But yeah, I think for those of you who may have met us or may have observed us in the wild, you'll kind of notice there's kind of a bit of there's a moment where you're in the conversation with us, you're sort of going, well, actually, maybe I need to leave because these two seem to be arguing like an old married couple, and I'm just a bit kind of uncomfortable and stuff like that. So, the name is kind of inspired from that. There's clearly some unresolved dependency here between me and Seb here.
Exactly.
So,
And this has at the same time a nice throwback to the Power Platform, which we're based on both. So I thought like this is a quite good idea, and it was not taken. At least I didn't find anything.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Whenever you're searching for a new idea, okay, is the domain available? Bang. Okay, right.
Bang, got it. We pulled a mud snacker there and just bought the domain.
Yeah, exactly. So fortunately, this one was available. We'll be able to make some use out of it as well. So yeah, I think it's so for those of you who were excited about the potential for a podcast where we're literally going through Dataverse solutions and commenting on dependencies between different components. Unfortunately, you're going to be very much disappointed. That isn't going to be the main focus of all of this. But hopefully, what we provide instead will be a bit more interesting, engaging, and maybe funny. Who knows?
And maybe if LM at some point gets funny, we will pick up here as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all up to basically Casey to make it fun, make LM fun again. That's basically, it's like if we wouldn't have like your episode name for this, make LM fun again would be like the good name for it.
Well, as we were discussing before, and we can maybe drop this interesting link in the chat. Copilot is for entertainment purposes only, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So that is actually in the terms of service. Would you believe? So, we'll leave you to sort of just. I'm assuming that is just purely for, I guess, some protections there in terms of maybe if somebody does. There has been, I think, some high-profile things of people using Copilot to basically generate information. I think there's an example here in the UK for some police commissioner reports. They used Copilot, generated some results about a match game that was incorrect, and then that was submitted as official evidence. So I think it's mainly just a bit of a legal thing to keep them out. And then what do you think? Yeah. What do you think? That's it.
Yeah, I think it's just like to cover up if it doesn't respond well, or the quality is not that good, or people just copy pasting their generated whatever report or email into a conversation or into Teams chats, and then they're just like legally safe that like, okay, we have never promised you, we just gave you the tool, everything like that is on its own. And if you want to do a deep dive into AI guidelines, we definitely can do this at some later session to just keep the audience at the moment, because I've actually created these guidelines for our group, and this is exactly the key heart of that is like you're still responsible for everything you put out into the world, the same way we are responsible for this kind of podcast thing here. And the same as with AI and AI generated content and pictures and stuff. So you are always responsible as a user what their outcome is and what the output is, and you are the person who shares it. There is no agent who just goes to Joe and says, "Hi, you should do this and you should do that." I mean, I wish, but because then maybe he would listen to me, but not happening.
Just treat AI like that absolute genius apprentice. Young person doing their practicum, I think in German, who's in the organization. They're super intelligent. They're super excited, going off, doing all this sort of stuff. But in their enthusiasm, they do occasionally drop the ball or do something that's kind of a bit sort of suspect and wrong. So you kind of just have to go, okay, just calm down. I appreciate you. I appreciate your enthusiasm. You're doing a great job otherwise, but dropping all of my production database tables, that's not really something that we should be doing here. So let's have a bit of a reality check there. So this is how you have to approach it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a puppy after the nap. It's like full of energy,
exactly.
fully there, and like tummy full. Let's go. I have like 10 minutes of credits which I can burn on everything what you want to do, and then I call it a day. So this is what AI is basically at the moment. But let's not extent of the AI talk, and as well, like maybe disclaimer for like everything mostly technical we're talking about. I think we both mentioned it. We both Microsoft MVPs. We may explain this as well, what this means. But
Yeah, how do you know you're a Microsoft MVP?
they will tell you. So
Exactly. Yeah. So you fell into that trap
yeah,
first, not me. So
yeah.
although I might have introduced myself as one, so maybe I did. Who knows?
Yeah, so basically, we what is an MVP actually? So we are awarded with that title by Microsoft because we are contribute on our spare time basically to the community, try to help, try to speak, try to advise people from the community, help here, and I think that's kind of what else is it. It could be like a blog articles, could be speaking at events, could be organizing events. There are many fabulous people out there who are MVPs, and as well much more fabulous people who are not MVPs who are also doing a fantastic work. So it's basically just a side title, I would say, just for something we love doing. Because we love the community, and especially the business applications community is one of its own, I want to say, because there are so many lovely people in there. And you will hear us as well from time to time to pick out their contributions, their blog articles. When we see something that's interesting, we may pick this up and talk about it. And with our immense, immense viewership and followers, we will of course provide shootouts to those people that they get the attraction they deserve.
Yeah, it's all
I
about
don't
just.
know why I want to talk about MEPs, but
It's good to mention because
want to be fair.
you hear this acronym being thrown around. You hear people sort of talking about it. It becomes a bit of maybe like a bit of a mystery sort of enigma. The more we can kind of talk about, and I think as well, the more that we can try and promote the program and get new people involved. That is, that's where I get a lot of the benefit at the moment in terms of my community involvement. Okay, helping people on their sort of journey to sort of move forward and just that old sort of mantra, we rise by kind of uplifting others, type thing. So if you are curious about the program at any time, see us at a conference or just want to drop us an email, then we're happy to always have a conversation about that. Because I think it's always good to get some new faces and new ideas into the whole mix. So
yeah, maybe as well makes sense to do like a special episode at some point, maybe answering your questions or as well just talking about the program itself. Because I think that's maybe interesting for people want to drive that way or have this as a, I don't want to say goal because it's not something you kind of work towards to and you have achieved it and you just like do nothing afterwards. I think the real work or the like pressure or the spotlight only comes after that. At least in my case, it was like that like I felt a lot of pressure after the first award, and I was like, okay, people are really listening to me now. I need to double check everything what I'm telling, and this was exactly the point I wanted to make in this podcast. A lot of the things which we talk about is definitely our own impression, and we will not get everything 100% right. So don't take us as granted, and always do your research, please. Take us as your little agents, basically, because like what we have may seen or what we have heard about certain features or what we have tried out is maybe not the full scope or is not the final form of it. So it's maybe only gut feeling or an emotional fact that we have here.
So this is where in the video we can sort of put, okay, the views of these speakers do not represent Microsoft Corporation.
Yes.
Past results are not indicative of future success. We can do all that sort of spiel.
That's maybe something we should add there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What we should also add there is maybe something to figure out where Joe is. So
Yes.
Joe's travels is one of our topics in each of the podcasts, basically. Because if you don't know Joe, he's basically traveling the world without traveling the world. He's traveling the world of conferences, of speaking events, of customer trainings, of client trainings, of trainings on training partners, and trainings and speaking events. So he is really into traveling. He maintains and receives every possible status you can imagine with every airline
I'm
There's
like
like
I'm like
he's
I'm like
like
Thanos with I'm literally I'm like Thanos, you know.
he's
So
like collecting all of these statuses like Infinity Stones. It's incredible. He has like this like Lufthansa status before I got it, and he's like traveling twice with Lufthansa. I'm traveling with Lufthansa 15 times a year. I have not made it after frequent traveler. He's like senator or like VIP first class, and he traveled them with them like twice. I don't know. There is some loophole. I don't know. But Joe, maybe you can give us some hints because we want to have the community guess where you would be next.
yeah.
And I think it's not an easy one this time.
No. So I don't know where I've got this reputation from. Honestly, it's just I literally had it today. Like Agnes was sort of I was responding to Agnes on LinkedIn, who's going to be at ECS in next month or a few weeks' time, and he said, "Oh, I thought you would have spoken here at least 3 times already." So everyone seems to have this opinion of me, but yeah, clearly, I just pay airlines lots of money and they give me, some benefit back. This is how I get my enjoyment out of life. Clearly, so there must be some, some benefit there clearly. But yes, we're going to make this fun. We've got regular features, and this is going to be our first feature where you can basically try and guess where I'm going to be next. So we'll give you a nice little sort of clue each time. We'll give you the ability to go and write into us. There'll be an email address at the bottom here of the sort of podcast or towards the end where we can sort of give you.
YouTube,
we'll sort of do. It's hello@unresolveddependencies.com. Don't quote me on that though. Maybe Sebastian can sort of dub that over with an AI voice if I got it wrong, or something like that. But yes, send us your guess, and if you win, you may get a nice surprise sent to you. So this is our way to get you involved, and the way for you to basically for us to get rid of all of this crazy expensive merch that we bought for this brand that we're never going to get rid of any other way. So
disclaimer: we have not bought any merch yet, so we still need to figure out what you're getting. The least at the moment, you will get a shootout at the moment, but let's see. Maybe there is some more merch in the future. Maybe some stickers, maybe some postcards. Maybe even if we know you and we meet at an event, and maybe we can bring in something more handy. So this is something to evolve, but definitely we will find something that's feasible. If someone even can guess where you're next. So give us your hints.
So here's the clue. So my clue is that I am next going to be in an ancient town founded by people from Italy, occupied by northern raiders, and well known today for its minster and interactive dungeon. Where am I talking about? Answers through into the email inbox. See if you can guess where I'm going to be next.
Can I make
next
a guess?
time. But then you've ruined it then.
Oh no, I don't know where you're going next.
You don't know. Okay. No. You don't know.
So I just want to make a guess. So
okay. Make a guess then.
Is it Frankfurt?
No, unfortunately not.
I just made a terrible guess, I think. But it's also not in Italy.
Well, this is what you're gonna have to guess. I think the clue I think should hopefully help you. That's the game. It's a game, yeah. This is it. We're trying to drive audience engagement and participation here, Sebastian. This is part of our strategy to grow this organically, So answers through to the email inbox, hello@unresolveddependencies.com. And we'll try and get something nice towards you, either a bit of a shout out or a nice little gift by the post or when we next see you.
Awesome.
So that's our first feature. Our second feature, which I'm going to introduce. So Sebastian is well known for being a prolific eater. I mean, when you just look at the guy, he could. This is an absolute unit of a guy. What's weird about that?
Just go ahead.
I'm just going. This is going so well. So he always eats some very interesting sort of things. Given that, as I think Sebastian, you don't mind me saying, you're a bodybuilder. You're at the gym basically every 2 hours. Almost.
I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm doing powerlifting.
You're doing powerlifting. I apologize.
Nick Dolman, right?
Yes.
One of our beloved friends, mentors, inspirations, good guys of the community. He's doing powerlifting for Canada, under real thing. He's going like on to nationals and into international cups. I'm just like someone who's just lifting in their gym. So
Yeah.
this is like the difference. So I'm not close to get anything for Germany onto the platform, but yeah, I'm basically doing powerlifting.
So I've just done a major faux pas there. It's the
Yeah,
equivalent of me referring to somebody from Liverpool as a Mancunian, or
I
vice
just
versa.
I
Basically,
just don't like to be oiled up and standing on a stage in a string. That's
okay.
just like nothing I could ever do.
Hold on to that image, and I'll continue to explain. So, given all of that, Sebastian likes to eat, and I'm always very interested to hear what he's eating and what he's done next. I've seen him do some pretty amazing things. I've seen him eat 2 double In-N-Out burgers, fries, and a shake, and still be hungry afterwards.
They're like super small. They're like fitting.
They are not small.
Of course, there's
Literally in the name.
yeah,
How are they not
double
small?
small burgers.
Okay, we're going to put a link below to In-N-Out, which, by the way, if you're ever on the west coast of the US, you have to go to In-N-Out. It's basically the law. You can look at these burgers and you can make up your own mind.
But we'll put this to Instagram. Follow ours or into
Instagram. Follow us on all the social lots of stuff. So anyway, each time we get together, I want to know what Sebastian's been eating. So anything interesting, tasty, or brilliant. So Sebastian, what have you been eating?
I don't know how long this will keep up, because I'm literally a boring eater when I'm at home, because I just very structured in the meals I eat. Because it was Easter last weekend, so much transparency is allowed, I think. I had a very interesting meal actually, and the parents of my girlfriend, they decided to do a barbecue on Good Friday, and I was like confused because you don't eat meat on Good Friday. So of course there was fish involved, and I don't eat kind of those like fish where it's like still has the head and the tail, and you need to work for your food. I'm more like this Japanese guy with like these soup of ramen and just like throwing it into his mouth. Exactly. That's how I eat. I'm eating like Kirby, literally. So and then I was like, I don't eat this kind of fish. So what is going to happen? And then they're so nice to me. So they made me some salmon, yeah. So because I eat salmon, so some salmon fillet with some Italian spices. So it was very, very heavy on spices. And what I did basically after it was done, I put as well some grilled cheese on it and throw it on the grill. And then there was a basically grilled cheese salmon steak, which I would call it at the end. And with that, I ate self-made bread with cheese. So it was a cheeseception basically here, and I love just to put cheese on top of everything. So I think this will be a common theme here. Yeah, I think this is like the most interesting thing I ate in the past like few days.
And the most German as well, because you had your grill.
Yeah, yeah.
We're grilling. You had your bread, German bread.
Yes.
Was a beer
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well?
There was bread as well. Yeah, it is really German. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have a barbecue yet at my place.
Yeah,
it's definitely something to miss out.
Then are you even German? Then you have to question
that's what I'm
seriously
myself the whole day. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
That sounds quite tasty actually, because fish is quite good. It's brain food, so you want the brain food, to obviously help when you're doing things like this podcast and stuff like that. Cheese is quite good, and the German breads are usually pretty damn tasty.
Yeah, but it was self-made. It was not like real German bread. It was kind of a mixture of stuff. My dad, by the way, makes incredible good bread. I don't know how he could not transfer this knowledge to me yet, because like what he's doing in the kitchen is like a different level. He's like a cook, but he never worked in a kitchen. He worked in a supermarket, so he never touched the kitchen just for a job. He just touched it as a hobby. And he's like doing so incredible stuff. It's amazing. And,
I suppose when something's your pleasure and not your work related, you're going to probably devote a lot more passion towards it, perhaps.
It's incredible. But he was also very good at his job, to be honest. But yeah, it's incredible. So I always drive there like every second Sunday just for the food and to see him, of course. But for the food, man.
Yeah, food number one.
Food,
Familiar responsibilities two.
free.
Yeah, maybe might need his bone marrow at some point. Number three, that's the order.
Number two is also food, I think.
Oh, great. Okay. So it's already been 30 minutes. Isn't that fun?
Roughly. I think we spent some time in the beginning, which we need to cut out. So I think we would do maybe some shootouts before we close up. I think we already mentioned it in the beginning. So shootout to Ulrike and Nick and the Power Platform Boost podcast.
Yeah, Ulrike in particular, because she very kindly jumped on a call with us and just shared her knowledge and expertise on all of this. So if you are listening, thank you. And I did listen to the episode last week, and I am committing to listen moving forward. So please, I'm not going to be a Thomas Sansa, put it that way.
Can you imagine that? Like Joe was asking Ulrike to like jump on a call to help us with this podcast, and like frankly admitting he never fucking one episode.
What am I going to do? I'm going to sit there and bullshit and say, "Oh, I'm your biggest fan. I listen to you every week." At
least you're honest.
Truth, at least I'm honest. Yeah. Honesty is always the best policy. Always.
Yeah. But anyways, Ulrike and Nick are such nice and lovely people.
Yeah.
Easy top 5 people in the community for me. So both of them, it's so nice to meet them, to see them.
And their podcast does a really good job of just distilling down.
You can listen that from, you can hear it from like one episode you listen to. Nice. That is basically quality, right?
Quality. Yeah. So we'll drop a link below. Do check them out. And yeah, I've got their next episode actually came out today, so I need to go and listen to that at some point. So that'll be good listening.
That should be like your night lecture. Yeah. Then as well, we need to apologize to some people because
already
cancelled.
Okay, that's
one cancelled.
Yeah. I'd like to apologize to offending German people by saying that they always grill and drink beer. And
I have like 4 pages. There's like 4 pages of people, which is coming out. So this episode will be overextended. Exactly. No. I think you mentioned at the beginning we thought about it as a nice approach to announce a new podcast that's about application lifecycle management. And we thought, like, okay, people will think the announcement of the podcast will be April Fools, but the April Fools was actually that we are talking about application lifecycle management. So my apologies to Parvis and David Lopez. They thought this would be LM related. It won't. Sorry for that. So yeah, we're very sorry for that. And also our dear apologies to Vivian, who was expecting maybe some more how to say that, more like
premium content where we go deeper into
details,
interests, shall we say. And if you can't guess what we're talking about there, then clearly you need to just come up and ask us and just say, Joe, Seb, you need to go and do
the thing.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Not going to say that. No.
Not just yet.
Hey, but apologies as well in that way that we can't live up to your expectations. We will think about this, but let's see where we can go with that. And last shootout is actually to our good friend Rebecca Albers de Jong, because she already guessed in the announcement like what this will be, just like 30 minutes of 2 people acting as a married old couple, and just the kind of show you would expect. So shout out to her. So you did a brilliant job on guessing what happens here without knowing.
Rebecca's been subject to this. That's the problem. She's seen this.
She's seen that too often.
She's been trapped in a car with us when I think we were in Redmond. I think was it last year or something? And
I think it was last year.
Got to see this. But yes, thank you for Rebecca, and really hope to get a chance to see you soon. It's been too long. So
yeah, and out of that, I think let's come to a closure for our very first episode of Unresolved Dependencies. Joe, do you want to add something?
It went quite fast, actually. Maybe we're better at this than we thought. Who knows?
I don't know. You have not listened it back yet, so.
Yeah, we'll see afterwards. But yeah, I hope this was at least a little bit sort of interesting. So next time around, we'll probably get more into the meat of stuff, some more interesting talking points. But hopefully, you've got a good idea what the podcast is about. Hopefully, we've piqued your interest. You want to come back. You want to get involved with our nice little competition, Joe's Travels there and stuff like that. And yeah, we're now in the mode of sort of saying, okay, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us on the next one for more unresolved dependencies. But is that how the YouTubers? Is that how the YouTubers do it this day? I don't know. I'm a bit. I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm getting too old for this shit. Clearly.
Yeah. Let's just end. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just 6, 7.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
Right. Sorry, I had to do that. Sorry. Oh. It's right. Yeah. Let's end it now.
Just close it. I think
6, 7. Bye. Okay. No.
Oh fucking Christ!